On this episode of He Said, She Said Movie Reviews, we take a look at the movie Ad Astra, written by James Gray and Ethan Gross, and directed by James Gray. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie tastes take a quick, spoiler-free look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
So we went and saw the movie Ad Astra. I give this movie 2 stars, and what do you give it, April?
A 1.5 as I hiss.
We'll tell you all about it right after these 2 trailers.
Alrighty, the first trailer we saw was Birds of Prey and the fabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. After splitting with the Joker, Harley Quinn joined superheroes Black Canary, Huntress, and Renee Montoya to save a young girl from an evil crime lord. The release date's February 7th, 2020, with Margot Robbie, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, you know, this is the second part of Suicide Squad, and it focuses on Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie was the only bright spot in the Suicide Club with her character of Harley Quinn. I'm actually really looking forward to this movie.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. The second trailer was Bad Boys for Life. Marcus Burnett is now a police inspector, and Mike Lowry is in a midlife crisis. They unite again when an Albanian mercenary whose brother they killed promises them an important bonus. The release date's January 17th, 2020, and guess what? Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Martin! Cannot wait.
If you haven't seen the first 2 Bad Boy movies, you really need to see those before this comes out. The only problem is, you know, we're starting to see now the trailers for 2020, and you know, both of these are unfortunately being released in that dead zone for movies, you know, January and February. So, you know, hopefully they're good. I mean, I love the first 2 Bad Boy movies.
I hope so. I absolutely love Martin's show. Tim and I grew up. We were in college watching that. I love it. I'll never forget seeing Gina at the Oakland airport. What a fun time that was. Okay,
Ad Astra. First of all, the movie didn't explain what the heck Ad Astra means.
Oh, man.
So, but I'm going off on a tangent. This is the story about astronaut Roy McBride, who undertakes a mission across an unforgiving star system to uncover the truth about his missing father and the doomed expedition that now, 30 years later, threatens the universe. This was written and directed by James Gray, and Ethan Gross was also involved in the writing. James Gray is known for We Own the Night, The Immigrant, and The Lost City of Z. This was essentially a one-person movie, a one-man show with Brad Pitt, but also the cast included Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Ruth Negga, who I just love, Ruth.
And Donald Sutherland.
So, I mean, it had a great cast.
Okay, the runtime was 123 minutes, which I can't get back in my life.
Which was 121 minutes too long.
Rated PG-13 for some violence and bloody images and brief, strong language. Now listen, I am a huge fan. Huge. Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Ruth, and Donald. All these folks are some of my favorite people as actors, okay? So this is not on them. This is the movie. It is, Tim, how do I sum this up other than what?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. This movie, for me, was a narcissistic borefest. Honestly, I mean, how somebody in James Gray's crew did not look to him after they did the screening of this movie for themselves and looked at him and said, wow, we've got a piece of junk here. Listen, I would have given this a 1 star like April did, but this did have some bright spots. It was a visually stunning movie. The cinematography was great.
I agree with that.
The production design was great. The special effects were great. So hats off to those people who were involved in that aspect of the movie. but the story was a stinker. One of the things you have to do, I'm sorry, I'm on a soapbox right now, April.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things as a writer of a movie, your protagonist, you have to elicit empathy from the audience.
Right.
Brad Pitt's character was just not likable.
Well, and the theme and the tone of the movie, obviously, sins of a father, daddy issues.
Yeah,
right?
but let me finish about this empathy thing. Even if you're going to have a movie about a villain, and a classic one is Psycho, right? Norman Bates. Okay, he was the protagonist of the movie.
Yep.
He was a villain. At least he elicited emotion from you as a viewer. You wanted to hate the guy. You wanted to see what happens to him at the end. Brad Pitt's character, you didn't even care what happened to him at the end. Honestly, I stood up halfway through this movie to leave. I was going to leave this movie, and I said to myself, "Oh, crud! I got to do a review on this. I need to see it through to the end." That's how bad this movie was for me. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is not my genre. Space movies are based off of reality, and you can't see it, but I'm doing air tags. Okay, go ahead.
Basically, it was essentially a one-man show. Brad Pitt is a great actor. The movie obviously is the wrong vehicle for not just him, any of these actors, okay? It is time you can't get back. The narcissism. Tim, would you agree?
Oh, yeah. He was just, Brad, the whininess of his character and the thing that, oh my God, they did so much of this inner voiceover dialogue with Brad Pitt where he's just, you're seeing a very slow scene. Hey, and he just goes on and on with this inner dialogue of his daddy issues. Come on. It was a borefest.
All right. Okay. Direction was fine. The score.
No, the direction I thought was horrible. You really thought the direction was fine?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, what can I say? I mean, okay. Cinematography we talked about. You're right. I mean,
let me go back to the thing about the inner dialogue. One of the classic things about writing. One of the classic things about writing is it's all about show and don't tell. Okay. This movie was all about the character telling you what was going on in his head. And especially in a movie where it's all about showing, you should have showed what was going on, not this inner dialogue
the
stuff.
The pace was slow at all times, every given moment. The dialogue, Tim talked about this a lot in the car. If he had to hear Brad Pitt's voice over the inner dialogue one more time, I mean, he would have just absolutely screamed.
And, I understand, I've read some other reviews on this because I just wanted to get a test to myself after watching this movie. And a lot of people were talking about how this was, it wasn't supposed to be an action movie. No, I get it wasn't an action movie, that it was a character portrayal, but you got to have a character that people like. I'm sorry. I mean, he wasn't likable.
I think we've beat a dead horse. It's not a movie. We can't get the time back. We rarely ever have such a hideous review.
One last thing, and then I'll be done with this rant. Is if I was watching this at home on streaming, I would have 20 minutes into the movie, I would have shut it off and I would have been done with it.
Oh, good.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
All right. Well, this unfortunately didn't go well. We still love the actors that were in this movie, but we did not like this movie. So there we go. I hope that everyone will keep going. We're going to have a lot more good movies coming out this fall, and we will see you at the movies.
See you at the movies. Thank you for listening.